Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to My Hero Academia Season 4, Episode 6. So we're here back with another episode. For those who are watching and didn't see or aren't going to see my Memento review or reaction, my feet are still healing. Um, they're still hurting a little bit, but they've been getting slowly at this point better. It's like it got progressively better to at a good speed and then slowed down a bit. So yeah. So I'm in my bedroom right now. Fittingly enough, I'm resting my head on a Sue pillow, Sue body pillow. Um, and yeah, so I wish I could be in a little bit of a better physical position for this, but oh well. Um, last time we left off, we had some interesting stuff happen. We had Kirishima, a Kirishima-focused episode. Although we did get a bit of Sue and Uraraka as well. So let's talk about them first. Sue and Uraraka were recommended by Nejire of the Big Three into doing their work studies with Ryukyu, I believe it is. The dragon, hero. She's like, I think she was number 9 in the rankings. We don't know much about her, but her team, so Sue and them, are going to be working with Izuku and, the Night Eye Agency. But most of the episode was focused on Kirishima. Kirishima was suggested by Tamaki, also of the Big Three, and he's doing his work study with Fat Gum. So as I said last time, I did know of Fat Gum going in. It's like I didn't know big details or anything. I guess pun intended. I knew his name and I had seen pictures of him before, and I know he's popular, but that's about it going in. So we see that they're working more like doing a underground. Well, they're not really doing an underground. They're doing just like a, what's it called? A patrol. That's the word I'm looking for. They're doing a patrol, and they get involved in an underground drug deal, gang situation. Kirishima ends up following one of the gang members and confronting him. The gang member uses a quirk-enhancing drug. They have a fight, and Kirishima has to go all out with his hardening, going like to its maximum potential at the moment, which is really awesome, but also scary looking. But he manages to defeat the guy while protecting the citizens in the nearby area, and everyone seems to love him. Sue and Uraraka also got big praise in the news. But yeah, it was a good episode, a really good Kirishima episode on top of that, which I feel like we need to have more of. We even had this little moment where Kirishima's fighting the guy, and then he remembers back to Bakugo actually encouraging him. And it's like, oh my gosh, Bakugo is having more character development. It's like, seriously? There are 3 things I would probably say in My Hero Academia that are just like pure ecstasy to me. Just a pure drug. It's like, fuck actual drugs, this stuff gets me high. And that is Izuku and All Might's relationship, and just the general development of that relationship and the quirk passing and all of that. Second would definitely be Sue and pretty much everything having to do with Sue. And third is Bakugo's development. Bakugo has, I've said it before, some of the best character development in all of anime that I've seen. It is just that well done. Not just in the amount he's developed. Because I've seen plenty of other characters in anime and cartoons and a lot of other shows develop much more than this. It's not the amount he's developed, it's the quality of the development. It's how well it's handled, how well it's written, how well it's showcased. And I think it's just being handled exceptionally well. So it's like, yeah, massive plus there. One of the best parts of this series for sure. But yeah, seriously, it's just, it was great to see him encouraging and kind of cheering on Kirishima and pushing him to do his best in that fight, even though he wasn't, there at the time, but still. It was still great to see, and it's great to see that they do have a legitimate friendship, that they do care for each other. Even though we've seen that plenty of times before, but still. um, so yeah, I don't know much of anything that's going to happen with this episode. I haven't seen any spoilers. All I've seen is like the first frame, the first, not the very first frame, but like a second into the episode when I was just getting it up before I could pause it and everything. I see that Kirishima's shown again. That doesn't mean he's going to be a big character in this one, though. All I know for sure is that, again, Sue and Uraraka are going to be working with Izuku and all. And, again, the Ryukyu agency and the Night Eye agencies are going to be working together. Are they just going to do an entire Big Three thing and have Fat Gum's agency work with them, too? And have all three of the Big Three there? That would be interesting. Because I feel like that's kind of where it might be going. Because, I mean, we have all three of these different things having gone on now with the work studies. And we have three different sets of people who are working with members of the Big Three. So it's like, and then we hear that Ryukyu's agency is going to work with the Night Eye agency. And now, with what happened with Kirishima and Fat Gum and Amakiji, it's like they're involved in that same kind of stuff. So yeah, it's like, are they just all going to come together and form like this big like superhero team up group? Because I'd be all good with that. Especially with it giving more focus to Kirishima too, because I feel like he's had a good amount of focus in the series, but I feel like he could have, like, there's certain arcs that give good focus, certain arcs and points in the series that give good focus to certain characters. The Stain arc did that exceptionally well with Ida, for example, and even the what's it called? The arc where they're training to get their cards, their hero cards. I can't remember what they're called. But even Aoyama has a big moment in that one, and Todoroki as well, and all. It's like Kirishima has had a couple big moments, but I want to see, like, point in an arc where it's like, okay, Kirishima's a big deal this arc. And I want to see that with a lot of other characters, too, so it's not just him, but still. I assume we'll get more with that in the future with other characters, but it's cool that they're doing it with Kirishima here, and I can't wait to see what else happens now going in. We also know that on the bad guys' side, it seems like the League of Villains and the Shiai Hasaikai are forming an alliance, at least for the time being. I don't know how long it'll last, but yeah, that is a thing that seems to be happening. And it's going to be bad for everyone, really. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So far, this season has been kind of building up. Like, previous seasons have just, like, given us big stuff right out of the gate. This one is building. This one feels more like you would expect a season of this show to go, to progressively build up to the big moments. Now, don't get me wrong, it's had some big explosive, pun intended, points already this season, such as Big Sis Mag's sudden death, and of course Mirio and Deku being having a little confrontation with Overhaul. But it's like, those are just like little moments in the long run, and it still feels like those themselves are building to something bigger. Everything's kind of coming together right now. We got to see Izuku's work study come together. We saw, to a lesser degree, Uraraka and Sue's. We saw Kirishima's. And if they're going to all come together, something big is going to start happening soon, I think. I don't know if it's going to be in this episode, if it's going to be in one of the next episodes, but it's like there's definitely building to something. And I don't know whether to be scared or not. I don't know where this is going to go at all, and it could be very bad if things get out of hand, especially considering Overhaul's quirk, which, by the way, I have to come clean about something. Since the last episode, I have been spoiled on what his quirk actually is. For those of you who are watching the series along with me, though, I will not spoil it, but I do know what Overhaul's quirk specifically is. I'll just say that I have been spoiled on that. It's something I wasn't trying to do, and I don't blame anyone for it. It just kind of happened. So it's fine, and it doesn't ruin anything for me, because it's like it's not really that I guess different from what I expected it to be. But it's like at the same time I'm interested to see how something about how a certain aspect about it's going to come into play. Let's just put it that way. Again, I don't want to go too much into it because I don't want to end up actually spoiling anything in case any of you are watching along with me. But I do know what his quirk like specifically is and what it specifically does now. So yeah, I just want to be open and honest with you guys, let you guys know that I did find that out. And again, not through my own methods or reasons. I wasn't looking for it. It just kind of happened. And it's like I don't know like necessarily every single detail. I just know like the basic, like what it does, what it is, you know. Like, there might be more to it that I don't even know. Let's put it that way. But yeah. Either way, I'm excited to get to this, and based on the time, I just recorded the Memento reaction, and that was 2 hours, so I do need to get on this, so we're just going to get into it. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts, and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, it seems like my prediction was right. The only kind of prediction I really made was obviously about Kirishima working with them too and everything, and that turned out to be true. With the entire big three kind of coming together and all, it seemed to make sense, but there was more there than I thought there would be. But yeah, so the Night Eye Agency calls together the other two that we saw last episode, as well as a bunch of other heroes, and their goal is to save Eri. Through all this information they've gathered and everything, including the fact that Overhaul's quirk is specifically both disassembling and reassembling anything he touches. We now have the goal to save and protect Eri. We also kind of gather that the quirk canceling drug has something to do with maybe Eri's blood, because there is human blood in the drug, which is messed up. So yeah. Izuku and Mirio are really upset by the fact that they found out about all of this, and they weren't able to save Eri before and everything, and just all the other stuff that had come up. And it's wild to see. It's wild to have all this big information, but at the same time, there's like not a huge amount to actually discuss here. It's like there's not like a lot I actually have to say. As I said during the reaction, I really am interested to see like how the assembly part of Overhaul's quirk works, because so far we've only seen him disassemble. Like, for example, he disassembled Big Sis Mag. If he wanted to, could he have reassembled her? Would she still be dead, or would he be able to basically bring her back to life? I have no clue. And I assume it works on more than just humans. And is it just like anything he touches, period, or does he have to actually activate it? It's kind of hard to say. There's a lot of questions that go into that. It's great to see Gran Torino again working on this. It's great to see Aizawa. Aizawa had a really fantastic moment talking to Izuku in this episode. Um, Great to see. It's going to be great to see more of Fak. I'm going to be cool to see what Ryukyu and all these other heroes can do. Um, I'm excited to see Kirishima, um, Izuku, Uraraka, and Sue working together. That could lead to a lot of great things. Going to be great to see the big three and a lot of great action coming up. Yeah, this was a big episode, but at the same time, it was very minimal on what was actually in it. It's like it was just basically one meeting, and that's pretty much it. Um, so there's not really a lot to talk about. I feel like I've only been talking 3.5 minutes. I feel like I need to say something more, but there's not really anything else to discuss. I basically shared my thoughts. um, I will say with Overhaul's quirk, um, it's interesting that it is specifically disassembly and assembly rather than just like blowing someone up or just general destruction of something. I like how Horikoshi gave it a very specific uh, effect. Um, I assume that means he could also disassemble things in different ways. Like, not just blow someone up. Could that mean, like, he could disassemble a person by, like, making their arm fall off or making their body just, like, fall to pieces? Or is it always explosions? Or maybe that's just the way he does it. I don't know. Because, like, that's the only way we've really seen it so far, but we haven't really seen it much, so that's not saying much. Um, but yeah, it's going to definitely be interesting to see more of this. Now, we also had Tokiyami. He was the other one who it was mentioned who he was doing his work study with, and that was with Hawks, who I know is a big deal in the series. Not only just because of his ranking, but I know he's a big deal because he's really fucking popular. I do know that. I know a lot of people love him. So I assume Hawks is going to appear sometime soon, and that Tokiyami will probably be there as well. I don't know how that's going to be introduced, but I'm interested to see what Hawks can do, like what his quirk is and everything. Um, and honestly, like I think I might have seen a picture of him once or twice, but I don't remember what he looks like. So I'm interested to see what he looks like too. This is going to be an insane mission, though. Either way, because like I said, their goal is to save and rescue, to find and rescue Eri. And in order to do that, they have this massive group. They're going to be splitting up, trying to find everything they can from all these different locations. And basically, it's like, if you find her, if you find that she's around, get her. And get her to safety. Um, which is not going to be easy, and I bet you anything. You can bet your fucking ass someone is dying. I don't know who, but someone is going to die. It's not going to be one of our main kids, of course. I doubt it's going to be Aizawa or any of the big three or any of the heroes who the big three and our students are working with. But someone who was there is going to die. I bet you anything. um, but yeah, it's just so fascinating at this point. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Because I said in the pre-thoughts, they're building to something. They're building to something big, and shit's gonna hit the fan soon. This is kind of that moment where it's like we find out what they're building to, and this is kind of the moment where it goes from the build to like, how do I word this? Like it goes from all the build up and this is the switch that turns it to the payoff. So I think everything from here on out is going to be focused on the payoff of all the buildup, and is going to be getting to the meat of this arc. And it's going to be big. Also, I did say at the beginning of the season, I believe, that I did know, or I did hear that this was a long arc. And considering this is 6 episodes in and we're just like coming to this point of the arc, I can see that for sure. I definitely think that this arc is going to continue on for quite a while still. I don't think it's over by any means. I don't even think I would say it's half over. I don't know, because you could say like, oh, it might end like, okay, so they're halfway point. Now they're gonna go out and they're gonna find everything and they're gonna yada yada yada. But no, I don't think it's gonna quite work like that. I don't think it's gonna quite end like that quickly. It's going to. There's going to be a lot going into it, especially with the League of Villains working with the Shiai Hakaisai. So yeah. But either way, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of My Hero Academia, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you want to check out any of my social media links and more, please check them out over to the side. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those down below. In the meantime, though, thank you so much once again for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.